All right, section 9.2, number 1. We want to know which of the following properties of the student t-distribution. We're going to select all that apply. So A says the area in the tails of the t-distribution is slightly greater than the area in the tail of the standard normal. That is true. The distribution is centered at the mean. It's centered at 0. As the sample size n increases, the density gets closer to the normal density curve. That is true. Area under the t-distribution curve is 1. That is also true. T-distribution is the same for different degrees of freedom. That's not true. So those 3. This one wants you to put the critical values in order from least to greatest critical values. So let me show you this in the text just in case you didn't see it in the reading. So in this one, when it was showing you to compare the critical value of Z, and I was talking about how to read the table just vaguely in the overview, it tells you that Z value with 10% to the right is about 128. This is smaller than the critical value of T, 15 degrees of freedom, because it has more spread, and it's showing you 10% area to the right, 15 degrees of freedom is 134. So the Z value is the smaller one, and then we have this value which is greater, and then notice what happens as the degrees of freedom decrease. As I go up, as my degrees of freedom get smaller, my critical value is getting bigger. Okay, so when I got 1 degree of freedom, it's a really big number. So a larger degree of freedom gives me a smaller critical value. Small degree of freedom gives me a large critical value. So the bigger the number, the smaller the value. So we want to put them in order. So Z10, T10 with 19, and T10 with 10. This is the order that you want them in. Z is the smallest. Bigger degree is going to give me a smaller critical value. This would be next, and then that one would be third. So Z is in the front of these 2. The next one, 19 degrees of freedom. So A is going to be the one we're looking for. All right, to construct a confidence interval about the mean, the population from which the sample is drawn must be approximately normal. It could either be normal or have a sample size of at least 30. So false. I mean, sample size greater than 30 would also mean